Well, it's been a few days. I actually have known for a while now what medical aid said. And I just needed to get my ducks in a row because you see, that's not good news. And so it was hard. That day was hard. I was angry. I was sad. I was in disbelief. And I was not prepared. The day I applied, which was April 16, well, the day I saw the rheumatologist, which was April 16, when I was talking with the nurse about what to put in my letter to Discovery, the medical aid, I asked her, okay, how often does medical aid say, no, we won't pay? And she said, like never, it's just this just follow the process. But yeah, it's guaranteed that you will be allowed to move and change to a different biologic. So that's where I was, and it made sense. I mean, they didn't disagree when I moved on to a biologic, so it made perfect sense that when we see that this biologic has adverse events, is that what they call it, adverse effects, and has not helped, secondly, that obviously after 6 months, that's when you put it in days, it's a lot, that obviously you will then be allowed to move. And again, it's not like they would even pay 50% of the biologic. I think that for me is what hurts the most. The fact that we moved to a different plan purely solely because last year they had said, if you're on this one, then we will pay for your medication. And then at the end of the year, I saw people complaining that, well, now they're only paying 80%. But even then we said, well, 80% of how much the medicine costs is worth the move. That for me is what hurts the most. It almost felt personal because we'd made a personal family decision. We'd sacrificed money so that I could get medical help. And that's actually part of what hits and makes it so personal, because my health is costing us a lot. Contrary to what that relative cousin said, it's not my children. Your own blood, I'm costing us a lot that we can't afford. And you know what? Even if I had started, well, I actually did start my life before children, working in an outside the home and making money. But even if I had been working outside the home, there's no way I'd be able to work outside the home now. I wouldn't be able to think. If I take my medication as I should, I can't think. I fall asleep. And even when I'm not on the medication, my brain is not thinking clearly. And more importantly, I would not last sitting on a chair, counseling people. Because that's what my career was. My qualifications are in psychology, counseling, psychology. Those are my degrees. And so I wouldn't be able to do that unless the client would let me lie down, kind of reclined, which is very, very unprofessional. I actually wouldn't be in the workspace anyway. And I just remembered that I was in the workspace 20 years ago. And just doing that physical work was already too much for me. I couldn't handle it. I ended up quitting. And that was 20 years ago when I ended up quitting because I physically could not do the work. It was too much for me. I tried to change from one job to another. So unlike what my people have said, that I'm lazy, I'm actually sick. And I've been sick for a very long time. It's got nothing to do with children. I'm the sick one. I'm the problem in this family. Get back to the point. Medical aid said no. They won't pay. They won't pay. I don't know how much they're paying now. 20% of what the medicine costs? 25%? Something low. They said they won't pay that. And the reason was, I don't meet requirements. Yes, I also don't know what requirements I don't meet. I do have AS. They agreed before, so why not now? 6 whole months later. My rheumatologist has seen how bad things are, that things have declined despite being on the medication. It's not like I just wrote to them and said, hey, medical aid, I'm in worse pain now, so please fix it. Yes, I am in worse pain. Yes, my stiffening is worse. Yes, I'm swelling more. In fact, I wasn't really swelling at all back when Enbrel began. Well, not much. Not like this. It's worse now than last year. So it's not subjective from the patient. Even my doctor has noted I'm not doing well. I'm not. And it's not like she will gain anything from changing. I need her. That's the sad thing. And that's how some people can mistreat us because we need them. She is not one of the mistreaters, by the way. My rheumatologist she's a lovely doctor. But I've seen there are people who work with those doctors or other doctors, especially specialists like her, who are very few in the country. Those ones, they do mistreat us. They're like, who cares? Because either way, you're stuck with me. You have no choice. That's the attitude we assume. But she's lovely. So she's honest. She wrote the truth. And they said no. I wrote my truth. They said no. And then in the letter, they tell me I can appeal. But then they don't give me someone who I can appeal to. There's no email address. There's no contact number. There's no nothing. They just say you can appeal. Go to the website. And there's no page that says appeals when you've been declined or denied treatment. So I don't actually know what's going to happen. I'd actually seen it first from one of the biologic nurses sending to some other nurse saying, well, I see the patient has been declined. This is unfortunate. Does the doctor have any ideas or something like that? But there's been silence. And I'd been hoping that I would hear something from the doctor so that I could tell you, this is the game plan. But there's nothing. And I know the doctor has many patients. But man, I don't know how many patients they've had this week who've been declined, denied treatment, and are therefore in limbo. So it's a mess, guys. It's a mess. I still am hurting because it feels unjust. The financial side of it, the fact that we changed, that is what is unjust. Only for them to now change how they work. It's just so capitalist, and our lives are literally in their hands. We pay so much per month, and we might as well pay little. That is what hurts. We could have paid little, still had hospital care like I've had, and then at least been more able to afford the medication. So this is my warning to you. If you are in the rheumatology space, don't be so sure. Don't believe us when we tell you, oh well, if you move to executive or comprehensive, classic comprehensive, then you'll be covered, because they're finicky. It's not guaranteed even then. So really do the maths hard and decide, if we move and we still have to pay 60%, is it worth moving to a higher plan, or should we just stay on the cheap plan and pay the 100% as opposed to the 55 or 60 that we're now paying, plus the extra premium? Do your maths. So in the meantime, I'm getting sicker and worse and sadder and tired and just so tired. But like tired because I'm not sleeping. And I definitely wouldn't be able to function at work, guys. I'm sleeping less each night. My shoulder since Saturday has been doing weird things also. So when I turn my neck, it gets sore. It's like my neck and my shoulder are linked, which I guess there's one muscle going there. It's been bad. It's sore. If I move, it hurts. I feel like it's muscular. I feel like when I was sleeping, because I'm not sleeping with a pillow, when I sleep with a pillow, it hurts my neck. So I take the pillow off. But now, then, when I turn onto my side in my sleep, I don't have good support. So I think I put pressure on my shoulder that way. So when I was lying down in the night, and when my shoulder was on the bed, it burned. It was burning pain. So I tried to sleep off my shoulder. Then my neck was sore, and this other shoulder started getting. Yeah, I need this hope. And the last point that I'll make is, through all of this long wait, it felt long, it was over a month, just to be told no. Through all of the long wait, I knew that the yes wasn't a guarantee that we would actually fix me. It wasn't a guarantee that we would, severely slow this down. what it meant was, okay, we are going to start a medication now, a new one. We will see what side effects it gives me. I don't even know. I'm scared. I don't even want to know. People have complained that the side effects were so bad that she went off it, but then people went off Enbrel and I could handle those side effects. They meant like the immediate ones. Those were bad. The skin, the anaphylactic reaction, putting them in hospital. I never had that. But this is going to be a new one. So I knew, okay, I'm going to have new side effects to deal with potentially. I'm going to have to take weeks to months to find out if this is even the right medication. It's not guaranteed that it would be. So I knew that the road was long, but at least I'd have started. Now I have not. I'm still stuck. I'm stuck where I have been since last year. I have continued the Enbrel that I had in my fridge. I've ordered the last Enbrel that is on my script from the pharmacy. And I've emailed my rheumatologist and told her, I'm dying. I can't do this. I can't sleep. I'm in pain day and night. I sent her photos of my fingertips, which are swollen more than the rest. It's more obvious in my fingers, the swelling in my fingertips, like the tops of my fingers. It's more obvious there. And, maybe my third finger, yeah. So I sent photos of that and said, yes, the visible swelling is at the top, but then she felt the swelling and I hadn't seen it. It wasn't visible yet when I went to see her. So I said, I'm getting worse. I'm not sleeping. I asked if we can move my NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, to a higher dosage. Thing is, I've got my kidneys and I've never gone to a normal healthy person's kidney numbers. I'm still at like mild kidney dysfunction. So that was the issue. We've got XNF 60, which I'm on, versus XNF 90, which would be more helpful as an anti-inflammatory. But it would then impact my kidneys more. Right now we've been kind of stable, kind of like just slowly going down, but not hectically going down. So that was my question. Can we change to a higher dose of XNF 90 to XNF 90? Can I add on the medication that I was initially put on that apparently works better for the peripheral joints? I even forgot to mention my elbow in my email. So I told her even my knees are stiff and painful. They feel swollen, but it's not that easy to see swelling in your knee. And yeah, well, I don't know what she will say. The problem there is it's not the first time where I've written and said, I'm really suffering and struggling with pain. But I got no response because the email doesn't go directly to her. It goes to her gatekeepers who, I guess they decide whether they should pass your message on or not. But it doesn't go directly to her. She has no WhatsApp line to say, okay, if you're having an emergency, let me know so I can look at your folder when I get to it. There's nothing. There's no direct way of reaching her. That's my one problem. Because then I don't know if she got my last year's message saying, I need help. I sent it twice. That, okay, this is getting worse. I'm not sleeping. Is there any way we can change the medication, fix it somehow? There was never any response to that. And so I don't know if there will be one this time. But in the end, yeah, I said, while we're waiting, because I don't know now what the plan is. Does the doctor appeal? Will she appeal? Has she begun the appeal process? I'm in the dark. And this letter arrived last Tuesday, I believe, if I'm not, or Wednesday maximum. But definitely Thursday, Friday, I knew that they'd said no. So it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's for the patient who's not sleeping, who's getting worse. It feels very long. So yeah, it was emotional. It was emotional and lonely and sad. Mostly because, as I said in the beginning, I'm the one who's costing us. And I'm the one who needs the rest. I'm the one who's sick at the same time, right? But I'm the one who's costing us all this money. It's not only the 7,400 per month. It's the other medication, the other pain medications, which cost around 2,000 rand, all my tablets for pain. Plus, then you add that. So I'm costing us over 10,000 a month. That is a lot. And that's what I was telling one of my young ladies who's been sending us bursaries for the children and stuff, that I was telling her that yes, our salary is middle class, but a lot of it is going to our health, me and the 3 children who are on medication. and supplements for the one who has not been officially diagnosed and therefore is not on any medication, but clearly is autistic and has ADHD. So I'm trying all the natural supplements for her ADHD symptoms and her mood. So they say magnesium, L-theanine, and B6. We don't have chewable L-theanine or B6. I've seen overseas on Amazon that is there sublingual L-theanine and chewable B6. But a bottle costs like, on the UK site, a bottle of 90 or 60 costs £8 something. Now remember, I've got 4 children who will be on this stuff, so 60 or 90 is very little. It costs £8, and then shipping is £22. Who's got that kind of money? So that one is a no-go. My husband's next overseas trip is like in 6 months. So anyway, that's not the point. The point was, this is my health update. It's not great. No, this is the update from medical aid. We don't like you. We don't care how you're suffering. We don't care what choices you made because of what we promised you. Deal with it. Sucker. That is the update on there from them. That is the update from them. And I wanted to add something. There's this thing where people say, my illness doesn't define me. My disorder doesn't define me. I always thought, what are you trying to say, really? What? I don't even know what it means that it doesn't define you. Like, if you, disabled. Disabled is an adjective. That is a definition. It doesn't like a definition of mom. Mom is someone who has children. Ankylosing spondylitis is a disease that I have. I don't actually know what they really mean. But for me, it does define me in the sense, like they say, it doesn't have power over me. It doesn't rule my life. It is just one aspect. That's what I've seen. It's not, for me, ankylosing spondylitis is my life. It is me. It defines me. I'm not sleeping because of ankylosing spondylitis. I don't have insomnia. I have pain-induced, AS-induced sleeplessness. If I do sleep, I have horrific nightmares. And then I wake up and it turns out it's because I'm in extreme pain. It decides where I will go, how long I will stay there, if I will go. It decides how I will walk. It makes me go to the shops, yes, but then I lean against the till behind me. That is what AS does to me. AS takes a lot of our money. AS impoverishes me. AS is my everything. It's in me as I'm sitting here. It's in me when I'm lying down. It's in me when I have to take the medication. It's in me when I have to turn and I can't turn properly, or I turn and my neck goes, or I turn and I can't turn without feeling pain. AS actually defines me. Ankylosing spondylitis, unfortunately, not by choice, is me. I am ankylosing spondylitis. I am your worst nightmare. It decides what I can do, what I can't do, how little I do. It cramps my style. It stops me from being who I want to be. So in that sense, ankylosing spondylitis does define me. I am a sick mom. I'm not just a mom. It takes over how I mother. I'm an unwell teacher, not just a teacher. It stops me from teaching for as long as I want to teach. I am a person who will I am a very bad housekeeper now. I'll take my husband's exercise shirts and it'll take me a whole week to fold 6 of them because I'm doing other things and then I have to rest. AS is why I'm on this channel. It is part of who I am. It is a big part of what makes me who I am today. From the teenager who was bent over, hobbling, fingers unable to bend in winter, with the friend who said, oh my word, you're walking like a grandmother. You're very sick. To me blacking out and she's there, same friend at the bottom of the steps. What happened? You just blacked out and fell down the steps. That is AS. AS is me. But what AS hasn't done is change my personality. It hasn't changed it for worse or for better. Even before this, I was always worrying about other people. It doesn't it doesn't stop me from being kind. I know other people say, well, obviously I'll be mean because pain does that. In that case, AS doesn't define me in my mood and my personality and my character. I'm still kind, I'm still thoughtful, I still give way for other people. I understand that my disease is invisible, so no one really out there realizes how much pain I'm in, and how I also, to be good if I could also go to the front of the line. They don't know that, and they don't see that. So it hasn't changed me into a negative version of myself, my inner self. I still believe in God, even though He has allowed all of this. I still believe He loves me, even though it feels like I am really being punished right now. AS does not define my spirituality. It hasn't taken over it. It hasn't changed it. It hasn't changed it for the worst or for the best. I am inside who I've always been. But in terms of the roles I play, mother, teacher, homemaker, wife, missionary, that one is gone from the plate, from the table. It is me in all of those. AS defines who I am in all my roles. So yes, I'm not going to be those brave people whose disease is just over there. Mine is in me. It's everywhere, all the time. Everywhere I go, all the time, day and night, conscious and unconscious. AS rules my life.